Audio test, 1, 2, 3. Audio test, facilitator mic, 1, 2, 3. Audio mic check, 1, 2, 3. Audio test. Good morning. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. If you would like to offer public commentary or commentary on any of our agendized items, please raise your hand, indicate which item you'd like to speak on. I will call upon you and record your information for the record, and then I'll call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning, Children's Voices Matter.
Good morning. I would like public comment, please.
Thank you. I have you down for public comment. I am going to lower your hand. And Audit LA, good morning.
Good morning. I would like everything.
Public comment on multiple agenda item commentary.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. I am going to lower your hand. Thank you, Audit LA. And Gigi, good morning.
Good morning. Just general, please.
Public comment. Very well. I have you down for public comment, Gigi. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand. It is 9:50. We should get started with the board meeting in approximately 10 minutes. Thank you. Good morning again to our attendees who are joining us here in the board hearing room. And good morning as well to the attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I currently have Children's Voices Matter, Audit LA, and Gigi who have indicated that they wish to offer commentary. I do see a couple of additional hands raised. I'm going to go through and ask if you would like to offer commentary on our agendized items or public comment this morning. Yvonne? Yvonne, you should be receiving a pop-up asking you to unmute. Whoops, I may have accidentally muted you as you unmuted yourself. Sorry about that.
I'd like to finish the general comment I made on Monday.
I have you down for public comment. Thank you, Yvonne. I'm going to go ahead and put
Thank
you back.
you.
Thank you. I'm going to lower your hand. And next, I'll move to Georgina McPhee.
Yes, please. Public comment and multiple agenda items.
Very well. I have you down for public comment and multiple agenda item commentary. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand. Laura FM, good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Yes, definitely would.
Very well. I have you down for public comment. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. And Barbara Broyd.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Knight. Just general public comment.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. And we should get started with the board meeting momentarily. Vice President Chavez, we are now in record mode and ready to begin.
Great. Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Mr. Knight, can you please take roll and establish quorum?
Yes, Vice President Chavez, good morning. We have Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Cardenas, and Commissioner Mitchell present. We do have a quorum. We are joined by City Attorney Representative Virginia Choi. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. Vice President Chavez, we have no neighborhood council commentary, but we have 7 public commenters and 2 multiple agenda item commenters on the virtual platform this morning, and no one in the room.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items, and will be provided up to 1 minute per person for a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. So we will go straight to the virtual platform since there's no one in person.
Very well. Thank you, Vice President Chavez. We'll start with Children's Voices Matter. And as I unmute, you'll have 60 seconds to offer your general comment.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Today, as we sit at our desks or kitchen tables having coffee, there are Scientology children locked up in small rooms getting audited, sec-checked, or better known as interrogations. They are not allowed to leave until their needle floats or admit to their overts or withholds, sins. These children need us, children of all races, creeds, or colors, with no advocates. That's why we are here. Forced to do manual labor and numerous hours of listening to L. Ron Hubbard indoctrination. Let us all as human beings do the right thing when nobody is watching. Thank you. We appreciate you. No more kids in Scientology. I yield back my time.
And we'll move next to Audit LA.
Good morning. What's the difference between a Sea Org member working at an event at Scientology and, say, your mother or yourself volunteering at your church event? You or your mother or your family member can leave when they want to. They can rest if they need to. They have a choice. The Sea Org member does not. So everyone working these events are, they're getting slave wages, but not only that, they don't have a choice. They can't sit down and rest. They can't just leave. They can't say no. They're told they live in a very high controlled environment. They're told when to get up, when to go to bed. They have to muster like a military 3 times a day. They do not get to choose their assignments. And if they fail on any level or even just slowed up or any kind of what they call a flap, they could find themselves in their prison system, which means that's less money. They have to run wherever they go. They are not allowed to talk to anybody else that's not on what's called the RPF.
Thank you.
Although they try to
Thank
say
you, Audit LA. That's 60 seconds. We'll move next to Gigi.
So you've heard us say many times that they're working for $47 a week for over 100 hours a week. You've heard that they are working on the city roads for that wage. But like Audit was saying, there's the RPF, and some of those people make like $11 a week. Could you imagine having to get by on $11 a week in today's economy? That doesn't even go for like a day for most people's budget. So, like, please look into this indentured servitude that's going on. And if they're working on the streets, especially, make sure they're getting paid what they should be getting paid. Thank you. I yield my time.
And we'll move next to Yvonne.
You have heard of multiple violations of codes and laws and ordinances. Unfortunately, the police department and all the agencies that are associated with you do not understand what their responsibilities are. Please distribute the white paper I suggested Monday, and also make available all of the permits, all pages, online to police officers so that when they are responding, they rely on your documents, not on something that comes from Scientology. Thank you.
And we'll move next to Georgina.
Hi, thank you. I misspoke about the agenda items. I only want to do minutes.
Okay, you indicated earlier that you wished to offer public comment. Do you no longer wish to offer public comment, Georgina?
No, I definitely still want to offer public comment.
Okay, you do want to offer public comment, or you do not? I'm sorry.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm confused. Why are we allowing a court-proven, case-convicted human trafficking cult to steal a street from our nation? It's really baffling to me. And then to allow them to impose private repairs to a street and sidewalk. Those are public street and sidewalk, but they've assumed ownership of this, and we've just sat back and allowed this to happen. It's a human trafficking cult, and we've allowed them to steal a street from our city and allowed them to do repairs on it and make changes to it without permits, without proper safety protocols. It needs to be investigated. Please look into it and do better. Thank you.
And we'll move next to Laura FM.
Hi, so again, about the permits with L. Ron Hubbard Way and giving Scientology any permits, you guys are allowing all this abuse. And you may think, okay, everybody's calling all the time doing this, but this happens every single day. You guys are responsible for the correct people working on public streets and sidewalks. Scientology literally has policy letters that show people how to infiltrate the city, and they are doing doing it with public works permits. You guys are fucking allowing this. I just lost my job due to Scientology harassment. I was born and raised in this cult. I have friends, children that were literally putting down those fake fucking brick roads so that they can get away with this behavior. They need to revoke that L. Ron Hubbard, put it back to North Berendo, put it back to a normal asphalt street so people can park on that fucking street. I live in this neighborhood. I want to park there as long as I want, whenever I want. Give it back to the city. Stop allowing Scientology to do this. This is fucked up. I lose my job
Thank-
over this harassment.
Thank you. That's 60 seconds. And we'll move next to Barbara.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I wanted to address the issue of oral reports. I have oral reports for which there is nothing in the meeting packets, and there is no written summary after a meeting has taken place. This is very difficult for the public and obscures the content of the meeting unless we go back through what might be a very lengthy recording. I'm requesting that minutes or a summary of oral reports or a post report be added with the journal for oral reports so that there can be open and transparent information about items covered by the Board of Public Works. Secondly, I remember back to consideration of a contract for the interim homeless housing project near our neighborhood, which came in with a bid $1 million over the estimate. It looked as though the contractors on that list were all larger bidders from large firms, and I'm requesting that it be looked into whether there can be a list of contractors of smaller size that for which a smaller bid would be
Thank
easier
you.
to make.
Thank you, Barbara. That's 60 seconds. Vice President Chavez, that concludes the Zoom public, virtual platform public commentary. But we have now received an in-person speaker card.
Yes, if you have an in-person comment, please come up.
Please approach the podium and you'll have 60 seconds to make your public comment.
Mr. Herman, you can come up. Thank you.
This fucking country was built by Americans, by wars. Conquer and divide. No fucking immigrant, and I don't give a fuck if you came here illegally. You need to go through the process. I just lost my fucking EBT food because of you motherfuckers. Because you can't build shit right. You can't think right. You're not engineers. You're fucking criminals. That's what you are. You feed along with that fucking cult Scientology who took my fucking street away that I pay taxes for in California. I want the fucking street back. You, Miss Attorney, take note. When your boss, your former fucking boss with that DWP was convicted, there's a reason for that. He's a fucking criminal, helping people steal from the public. The same way some of you are helping that fucking cult Scientology steal from the public.
That's
Give
60
us
seconds.
our fucking
Thank you.
street back.
That's 60 seconds.
Seeing no further general comment, we will close the general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period for up to 1 minute per item for a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items that you will speak on when you are called. Mr. Nutt, do we have any in-person multiple agenda item comments?
We did receive one speaker card that indicated that the speaker wishes to offer public comment on all items. So there is one in-person multiple.
We'll start with the in-person comment. Please identify which items you'd like to speak on.
Please approach the podium and you'll have up to 3 minutes.
Mr. Herman, that's you.
So this is the following. We have a public works projects, and there's many projects in the city of Los Angeles in which we just found out we're going to spend close to $18 million on infrastructure, right? And we here have a recreation center storm that's into the $53,000 amount, or is that 53 million? The question is, and I'll give you a scenario. You had this legislation brought by Wetback Hernandez and that criminal bitch, Gerardo, regarding residential construction of minimum wage. Now, how is it that you build and you cannot live? How is it that you can build infrastructure and people can't live where the infrastructure is built? Who's going to take care of this problem? It sounds stupid, but stupid's looking at me. Because if you have workers who can't afford to live in an area that they're repairing or fixing, how the fuck do you plan to manage it? See, if any of you were smart, you would call Donald J. Trump over here because he has the answers. He shows you how to build. He shows you how to get a bond. He shows you how to apply for a grant, and it's not stealing. What you're doing is stealing. Stealing from the taxpayers who are probably at this point upset that they're going to find out that, yes, your trash rates are going up because you're going to pay for this bullshit. Also, your taxes on your property are going up because you're going to pay for this bullshit. So what good is it for repairing or replacing a stormwater capture plant or power plant when your infrastructure is still outdated? You're going to spend $53 million on one fucking water problem when you got multiple problems of infrastructure. Multiple. I would be ashamed of myself to sit here and not really realize what can I accomplish with millions and millions of fucking billions of taxpayers' dollars. Not like those two fucking Republicans and those two fucking Democrats fighting over taking away my simple $20 on an EBT card that I get every month. 20 fucking bucks. You're going to take my money away from you. So you can say that you're building an infrastructure designed to assess me in life? The only assessment it's giving me is a fucking hard-on. A hard-on. To point out how little vice president up there is going to run her children in a city that doesn't work for them. And when they're crying to mommy up there, the vice president, Mommy, why is there no water? Mommy, why is the water contaminated? Mommy, why is God hating us? There's a reason for that, Mr. President. The end of times is coming. I'm the end of times. My voice, my tone, my amplifying of hate is not hate. It's to alert you of the last of the days to come for all of you. Because I will get recognized on that day when I die before the true God, Yahweh. Is that what you call him? Yahweh? What do you call him? Call him God? Well, God is coming. The sign is in the streets. The sign is the way you run this fucking country. The sign is the way this fucking city is a criminal, corrupted element of it.
That's
Thank
3
you.
minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Knight, we can go to the virtual platform, please.
Very well. Thank you, Vice President Chavez. And we'll start with Audit LA. Audit LA, please identify which item you're speaking on, and you have up to 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to start with the neighborhood council element. I believe we heard from Barbara. I know she's on a neighborhood council. I believe she's a president. And she always has to come and speak as herself because there's just like there's something wrong in the system. There's just not enough time to give neighborhood councils the a chance to be able to meet and get an opinion to be able to present as a neighborhood council, to do a CIS. And so I think there just needs to be some kind of reworking of that system. And because I think you need to hear from more than just the public is of course you have to hear from us, but the public is also represented by our neighborhood councils. Okay. And every area of the city is going to be broken down into different needs and different ways of looking at things and stuff. And so you really need to reach out to them. Okay, when it comes to the street thing with the report with the trees, we need our canopy. It was, every summer we're reminded how hot it really gets and how you're going through different parts of the city, or, and especially in a city that, right, they're trying to get us out of our air conditioned cars, and so you're out there biking and walking and, in a chair like me, and we need a canopy. We need more shade. And so and I agree with Barbara wholeheartedly that not enough there's not enough information from these reports. And so I agree with her, but I was, and then when it comes to the middle one, not the bids, but I can't think of what it's called, but with the, paying everything. You guys, I'm glad I see you guys scrutinizing things more, and I appreciate that. But, sometimes you just have to say no to a project, or you have to say not yet. Go work this out better and then come back to us with it when you figure it out, because this is not where we want it right now. You have to, because you guys are doing way better than before, okay? Every other prior commission, it was just a rubber stamp. You want this, sure. Yes, here, yes, yes. Finally we get to, like some no's, but it needs to be more. There needs to be a more of a reasoning as to, because I know with the charter commission, right, they're trying to, question whether or not we need to have this system, and we do need it for transparency and, for accountability and for the public. So be the board that shows this city that you are scrutinizing everything, and that you can say no to projects. You can say no to a developer or whoever and say, no, this is not where we need it. No, this bid is too high, or please be that commission. And, and then as far as bids,
And that's 3
yes.
minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move next to Georgina. Please identify which item you're speaking on, and you have up to 3 minutes.
Minutes.
Go ahead.
I'm concerned that you're not using your available technology to its full potential. You need to task your tech department with using Granicus in a way that makes it accessible to everyone to see who spoke at the during the public comment section. Right now, it's just listed under the agenda as public comment received. In other cities throughout the nation, they use the same system, but in their system, you can click on a hyperlink and be directed immediately to the name of the person and what they spoke about and see the video. Why don't we have that? We have access to that technology. And yet Los Angeles, even though it's one of the wealthiest cities in our nation, does not fully use the technology that they have at hand. Other cities use this. Sacramento uses this. Why aren't we using our system effectively? Thank you. I yield back my time.
That concludes multiple agenda and single agenda item commentary this morning, Vice President Chavez.
Okay, with that, we will close the multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting, and we will move forward with the approval of the minutes for Friday, October 10th. Are there any questions, comments, colleagues? Seeing none, is there a second to the motion to approve the minutes? Wonderful. Mr. Knight, we have a first by myself and a second by Pro Tem Grant for approval of the minutes.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and this item is approved unanimous.
Thank you very much. Let's now move on to our first item of the agenda, which, since it's Wednesday, we'll be opening bids today for the David M. Gonzalez Recreation Center Stormwater Capture Project.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. This morning, I'm joined by Matthew Castellanos of the Board Secretariat staff, and we will begin to open bids now. The first bid received is from Toro Enterprises Incorporated. Toro Enterprises Incorporated's total bid amount is $53,171,000 and $595. 53,171,595. The second bid this morning is from Reyes Construction Incorporated. Reyes Construction Incorporated's total bid amount is $47,834,795. 47,834,795. Thanks. And the third and final bid this morning is from Ola USA Incorporated, OHLA USA Incorporated. And Ola's total bid amount is $58,182,095. 58,182,095. And that concludes bid opening for agenda item number 1 this morning.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to accept the bids?
So, second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. We will take a roll call vote on approval of bid openings, that is for item 1. Starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
And all ayes, and bids are received, open, and declared forthwith.
Great, thank you. Next, we have a consent item, number 2. Unless there's any objection, we'll go ahead and vote on the consent items.
Need a motion?
We do need a motion to vote on, yes.
Okay, so move. Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Very well, thank you, Vice President Chavez. We will take a roll call vote on approval of consent item, that is item 2, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you. And that is the end of the consent item. And so then we'll move on to item number 3, which is a oral report, City Trees Update from Bureau of Street Services. Mr. Miranda, thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Vice President Chavez, Commissioners. My name is Hector Banuelos. I'm with the Streets LA Urban Forestry Division, and today I'll be presenting the semi-annual report for our operations in tree care with Urban Forestry Division for 24-25 and our goals for 25-26. The projected tree care goals for the fiscal year 24-25 were as follows. We're projected to trim or estimate to trim the goal of 40,000 trees, remove 900 dead, dying, diseased trees and their stumps, and trees or planting of 500 trees throughout the city, and watering of we're watering currently about 5,000 trees, and that's about our capacity that we have right now, currently what we're budgeted for. So the goals will remain the same for 25-26 as well. We're going to have some challenges with hiring and because some of the budget cuts, but nonetheless we're going to attempt to achieve those goals as stated. The Bureau right now, our division, we received last fiscal year a total of 30,800 MyLA service requests, which included 14,200 tree emergency requests, 7,100 requests for tree inspections, 8,500 tree obstruction requests, and 1,000 violations varying from illegal tree removals to unpermitted tree pruning, such related to street trees and also with the native protected trees. We're uncertain of what we're going to receive next fiscal year, but we're assuming it's going to be the same with the fiscal year 25-26 as far as the 311 LA request received. The tree trimming for 24-25, we did achieve our goal of 40,000. We trimmed actually 47,500 trees, which included the 4,300 trees that were trimmed using discretionary and on-demand funds, the various council districts. The trees and stump removals, we are targeted to, we had the goal to remove 20, Well, actually, we removed 2,800 trees, and I believe then we had 2 tree removal crews, which would remove 1,800 trees, was our goal. So we did also achieve or met our goals of the 1,800 trees. But we also used some discretionary funds to achieve that goal. The tree and stump removals is ongoing, and we're expected to. The goals could be somewhat reduced because we did lose some staffing due to the budget cuts. So our goal for this fiscal year is 900 trees. Our landscape medians, we have about 10.5 million square feet of landscape medians maintained by contract. We have 4 contracts throughout the city of LA. We're on our 2nd year now of 3 years, potentially 3-year contracts. The contractors are performing at acceptable level, and we're expected to renew the contracts this upcoming fiscal year. The tree planting, we had estimated about 1,000 trees to be planted using 2 tree planting crews. However, one of the crews was cut through the budgets, and so we're impacted, and so we're estimated to plant about 500 trees this fiscal year. Last year, we did plant 730 trees throughout the city. Our division also assists land development with developments, and I heard the previous caller calling about the developers and our division. Just so everybody knows, the division heavily scrutinizes all requests for tree removal. Will only consider tree removal if and when all alternatives are explored and exhausted. So this year, our land development group also assisting the mayors, executive directors, low-cost housing, ED1s, and other executive directives through the endeavor. The processed a total of 2,050 clearances that are part of the process of developments, and we performed 700 tree inspections, and over 400 permits were issued for the pursuant to the land development. Our watering and maintenance, our watering crews, as mentioned, they're watering approximately 5,000 trees through the establishment period of approximately 3 years. And so the watering also includes maintenance, which is required to establish these trees and to see that they become large, mature specimens and provide the benefits that mature trees provide. And the division also assists the Bureau of Engineering and sidewalk repairs as part of the sidewalk repair program. And with that, the Urban Forestry Division trimmed and root pruned approximately 90 trees and removed 10 trees and replanted 22 trees as part of this sidewalk repair program. In addition, our arborist also inspected and assessed 200 sites for the rebates as part of the sidewalk repair program, in addition to 864 access requests pursuant to the sidewalk repair program, and issued 65 permits for that program. And the Pacific Palisades, as an update of the Pacific Palisades, the division assessed approximately 6,056 trees that were within the fire burn scar area, and earlier this year, which includes 3,563 trees will continue to be monitored for their health, and the 258 trees were removed or are targeted to be removed, and 1,209 vacant sites currently within the burn scar area, and include the removal of 763 stumps and 263 sites of the sites where we've seen that trees were once existed and no longer can be planted because they're too close to other existing infrastructure, corner visibility, and other variable issues that do not allow for tree replanting at those locations. That concludes the report. I'm here to address any questions the board may have.
Thank you. Colleague, questions? Yes.
I apologize for the interruption. During Mr. Benuelos's presentation, there is a hand raised now on the virtual platform. If you like, I can see if the caller would like to offer public commentary on this item. Silva, would you like to offer commentary on item 3 this morning? I see that you've raised your hand. I see that you've unmuted. However, the board is not receiving audio input from you. And I see that she's muted herself again. So we can go ahead and take that.
Let's proceed. Colleagues, any questions? Commissioner Cardenas?
Yeah, question. Thank you for that. We do, the board hears all kinds of requests for tree removals, protected tree removals how many protected trees do we have in the public right away? Do we have numbers on that, and how many were affected with the tree trimming and such?
No, we don't have numbers on that. The protected trees is defined as a tree that's growing naturally occurring. Right, so we have very few, if any, naturally occurring trees on the public right of way, although there may be some growing within the public right in the mountainous areas. But as far as an inventory on those trees, we don't have I do not believe we have an accurate inventory on that, on the numbers.
So as far as you know, we have 0 protected trees, species in the public right of way.
Well, no, we have a lot of, well, we have a lot of protected tree species, right?
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, the coast live oaks,
Correct.
California sycamores, to name a couple of the probably most common trees, the protected species that are located within the public right-of-ways. As far as them being naturally occurring, probably very few. I know they're there, but there's very few of them within the city of LA. And most of them are occurring like in the mountainous areas where they're indigenous and where they're prevalent. Right? So as you're looking like in downtown LA, you're probably not going to find any. In a lot of the other lower lying developed areas, you're most likely not going to find very many, if any, naturally occurring oaks or California sycamores or walnuts for that matter. So, but no, we don't have an accurate number on those.
So none of our large medians have any protected species?
Yes, they do. Yeah, we have some numbers on them.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we do have some in
Yes.
our right
Yes,
of way.
the species, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Yes, okay.
All right.
Yes,
So we don't, I was under the understanding that we had a catalog or a inventory of all the trees in the city canopy. So that inventory doesn't specify if there's protected species or not?
Yes, it does. Yeah, we do have an inventory that was completed a few years ago by Davie Resource Group. And so within that tree inventory, of the data that was collected, it does include some of the protected tree species.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Wondering if you could speak to how the tree trimming and the maintenance cycles have changed in the last few years due to budget cuts. What's the current trimming and maintenance cycle on average right now?
Right now, it's currently about 17 years.
17 years. And has that changed over the past few years? Has that increased due to budget cuts?
Yes, it has changed. It's been going up and down. It's all predicated upon the budget. So,
And I'm sorry if you said this, I didn't hear it. What's the current backlog right now for tree service requests?
I don't know the backlog of the service request per se. However, right now, if we have 660,000 trees and we're only trimming 40,000, we do the math, it comes out to equate to about 17 years. So there's an extensive backlog, or should I say, we want to reach that elusive 5-year trim cycle. But right now with the current budget, as you can imagine, it's every 17 years is not quite enough to meet the best management practices of tree care. And so I don't have a number on the backlog, but as you can imagine, pretty extensive. As you can just drive around the city and see for yourself, a lot of trees are in dire need of trimming. Unfortunately, we just don't have the resources to keep up with the demand.
Right, so you don't have the actual number, but you have the total number of requests you've received.
Yes, we have the total number of requests received through MyLA is 30,000.
30,000. And then how many of those have been responded to, because I know sometimes we close things, but they're not, the service wasn't actually delivered. So do you have the stat of how many of those were responded to?
I don't have those numbers, excuse me, at the moment, but within that 30,000 number, there is 8,500 were obstruction requests. So it's assumed that those obstruction requests were mostly through low branches and obstructions of stop signs and so forth.
So are those because those are considered emergency or hazardous?
If they're blocking a traffic control device or stop sign, yes, they are considered a emergency, and we'll attend to those as soon as possible, usually within the next 24 hours or so.
Okay. Okay, that's all I have for now. See no further questions? Thank you so much, Mr. Benuelos.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Mr. Knight, does that clear the desk for today?
Yes, it does, Vice President Chavez.
All right, well, our next meeting will be held on this Friday, October 24th. Meeting is adjourned at 10:38 a.m.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We do.
Oh, yes, we have a management meeting today, directly following.
Starting at 11, thank you.
Thank you.